Here we are at the coffee club in North Lakes, and I've got with me Pastor Laine Willis. Laine, you've been around a fair while. Tell us a bit about your background. You were a missionary, I believe, in New Guinea and Mozambique. Tell us a bit about their background.
Yeah, my wife Rosalind and I spent 25 years almost in pastoral work. And then we went to Papua New Guinea and served the Lord in the highlands of Papua New Guinea as pastoral trainers up there for 3 years. And then we spent 7 years after that as missionaries in Mozambique in Africa.
Now in Africa, that'd be a lot different to PNG missionary work, would it?
Slightly different in the sense that in Papua New Guinea we served with a denomination, the ACC, or what used to be the Assemblies of God, where in Africa I was involved with more than 100 different denominations across the areas of Mozambique where we were living, and that made quite a bit of difference. Without the national church structure, it was more a freelance kind of operation that we ran over there, although under the auspices of ACC World Missions.
Now, in Mozambique, I would imagine, what was the religion there? Was it mainly Muslim or what?
No, there was smattering. In the city where we lived in Beira, most of the businesses were run by Muslims or Hindus, Indians or Arabs. We found them very cooperative. They knew what we were there for. They were very helpful with their business and so forth. Some of the churches that we worked with were only metres away from mosques, and had good relationship with those. I remember one church opening. The leader of the mosque came to the church opening and presented a handshake to the pastor there and welcomed him to the district. And some of the seminars I did, I had Muslim leaders come to the seminars because it was an open situation. We had on several occasions Muslim leaders came and joined in with the seminars and listened to the teaching.
So you've had a lot to do with Muslims?
A little bit. One of the key experiences I had was up in the north of Mozambique in a place called Angoche, where a major portion of being a Muslim area, a major church was planted up there under the name of the Followers of the True Way. Started by a gentleman from Japan, a New Zealand missionary from Japan, and within approximately 3 to 4 years they had 80 churches planted there in this Muslim community. Again, I slept only 2 doors from the local mosque, and we saw a wonderful move of God amongst those people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now you're back in Australia with all that experience. You've obviously picked up on the culture here in Australia and how there's a lot of fear in the community.
There is, yes.
What advice do you give to Christians in relating to Muslims?
I feel we need to be very careful as Christians in our churches that we don't become distracted from what our main goal is, and that is to preach the gospel to every creature. Whether they're Muslim, whether they're Hindu, whatever they are, we have an obligation to love those people into the kingdom. The more we emphasise the terrorist side, the extremist side, that kind of Islam, that kind of thing, we then polarise those people from our Christian contact. And as I say, I've talked to Muslim people. My wife taught a Muslim refugee family who lived 18 years in a refugee camp in Burma before being allowed to come into Australia. We had meals at their place and found them very friendly, very open. They were asking us about our Christian religion. We were asking about theirs, and the communication doors were well and truly open. But I think the more we concentrate on the extremist side of it, we isolate ourselves from that communication.
So if Muslims came into our churches, for example, what should we do?
I think we just love them like we do anybody else. If a gay person came to our church, we would be required, as per the character and nature of the gospel, is to love everybody, treat everybody the same, be non-judgmental, love, acceptance and forgiveness are the 3 rules that every church should abide by. So regardless of what they look like, where they come from, we should embrace them in the attempt to build bridges to them rather than put gulfs between them, and embrace them in the hopes and the chance that we can win them to Christ.
Thanks, Laine. That's very helpful. Appreciate you sharing with us.